Bree here, and we love relationship drama here, so long as it's someone else's drama. So let's dive into some. Sith is not really in a super cooperative mood today, so we will see how long he stays. Am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend that his masculinity was fragile after he refused to buy me pads? I'm gonna say probably not, because, it sounds like it is. Okay, throwaway, because my boyfriend knows my other account. I, 23 female, moved in with my boyfriend, 24 male, of 2 years a couple months ago. We haven't had any problems before this argument. Things had been going pretty well. You okay? Oh, thank you. Well, now he's being very sweet. Never know what you're gonna get with him. Anyway, a couple days ago, I got my period. It came early and I had run out of pads. This is very topical because I'm about to start mine. I couldn't leave to buy some because I bleed pretty heavily and I would have bled through my pants. So I asked my boyfriend if he could buy pads for me from a drugstore because it was late. He immediately said no. I was shocked because I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, no, if I were sitting on the couch with my husband and was like, hey, could you go buy me some pads? He would be like, yeah. I wouldn't even need to be like, because otherwise I'll bleed through my pants. He would just be like, yes. I asked him why. He said he didn't want the cashier to see him buying pads. Yeah, because the cashier is really going to judge you for that. That is all cashiers do whenever you go to— I actually do kind of wonder if sometimes when you're checking out, the cashier's silently judging you. I'm sure you've seen that game where choose 3 items that will make the cashier question your sanity, like donuts, glue, donut holes. But buying normal hygiene products, the cashier is not going to judge you. At this point, I started laughing because that was hilarious. He wasn't joking though. He just glared at me. I told him the cashier would obviously know it wasn't for him. Plus, the cashier would definitely not care what he was buying. He still refused. I told him that he could go to the self-checkout machine if he was so insecure, but he said he didn't want anyone to see him with pads because they'd think he was I'm not saying that. Throw the whole man away. Just throw him away. Just get rid of him. I told him that he was childish and that his masculinity was really fragile if he couldn't even buy pads for his own girlfriend. Very true. It's not that big a deal. Honestly, the cashier will probably just assume you have a girlfriend that you're buying these for. That is probably what the assumption would be. Actually, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie 10-Inch Hero? There is actually a scene about that where they run a sandwich shop and they ran out of period products in the bathroom. So a guy that works there runs to the store to pick them up. And when he's there, a couple of teenage boys kind of pointing or laughing at him and he's like, you know what this means? This means that I have a girl in my life that trusts me enough with her intimate hygiene products. And he just laid it out for them and it's a very good moment. It's a very good clip. He got mad and went out. Did he get you some pads while he was out? So, you don't bleed through your pants? That's another, it's not even just, oh, hey, could you pick me up some pads? It is I will bleed through my pants if I don't get some pads. I need, you actually need someone to pick them up for you. It's not just, I'm not feeling like going out, which, if you're on your period, that is totally fair. I don't feel like going out on my period most of the time, and that should be enough. But it's not even that. It's you will bleed through your pants. I had to bunch up toilet paper as a makeshift pad, wear black pants and a long cardigan, and go buy the pads myself. My boyfriend has been ignoring me ever since. You're the one who should be ignoring him. What? He has no grounds to ignore you. I've been thinking that maybe I might have pushed it too far. No, you did not. He did. So, am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend that his masculinity was fragile after he refused to buy pads for me? No. Nope, not at all. Edit, wow, thank you for all your replies. I'm definitely going to have a serious talk with my boyfriend in the morning about this and we'll see how it goes. I'm sure he'll take it super well because he sounds really mature. Not the a-hole. If he's man enough to go buy condoms, he should be a man enough to order other genital related products. He's more concerned what random cashier number 34 is thinking about him than he is about doing something for you as a boyfriend. Seriously. No, this was really shocking to me. I'd never asked him to buy pads for me before because we never lived together, but but I honestly didn't think he would react like this. I mean, yeah, that's something you wouldn't know until it happens. I also didn't know he was transphobic, so that didn't sit quite well with me, yeah. So we do have an update posted the next day, I'm assuming after their little talk that she promised they'd have. Let's see how it went. First off, thank you for all your awards, replies, and stories. They all mean so much to me. I conferred with my boyfriend an hour ago. We sat down together and I told him I didn't like how he acted about buying pads for me. He said he didn't feel like he had to and that I could have held it in and drove to the drugstore to get pads myself. Oh my... I need a minute. That's not how it works. You can't just hold it in. It's not like having to go to the bathroom. I told him that you can't hold in menstrual blood, but he insisted I could have done it for a few minutes and it wouldn't be a big deal. No, it's not like it's bad for you to hold it in. No, you can't. That's not how it works. That'd be super nice though if I don't have a pad. Let me hold it in until I can get one. That would be great. No, that's not how it works. We went back and forth over this, so I just dropped it. The fact that he argues, because, he knows better than she does about her own period? This guy has so many problems. I asked him, like most of you mentioned, what would happen when we have kids, and he'd have to take care of me and buy me nipple cream. That is a great point. That's a great thing to ask. Take me to the washroom, etc. He said that I would not need those things because I should be able to do them on my own after giving birth. So he's not gonna take care of wow. He said there wasn't anything hard about using the bathroom, and the only reason I'd need help is if I was a cripple. Then I asked him about the transphobic comments. He said he didn't understand why people would want to change the gender they were born in. That basically cemented everything for me. I felt completely betrayed and humiliated. I can't believe I spent 2 years of my life with a guy who holds these views, and I can't believe I was too oblivious to it. I just feel so dumb. I mean, I'm assuming you never saw this side of him before, though he sounds just like a complete and utter moron, so, maybe there would have been some signs. But girl should still not blame herself for this. I told him that we need to break up. He cussed at me and told me I was exaggerating and that I was being I told him that I would send him my half of this month's rent. We lived together, but it was his apartment, so we would split the bill. Then I packed my bags and drove to my parents' house without saying another word. Yeah, you get out. I'm gonna be staying with my parents until I sort myself out. I'm really feeling down right now because I really did love him, but I also feel relieved. That's a sign that this is the right choice. Again, thank you for helping me out and sending me encouraging messages. I appreciate it all. I don't even have words for this man, this child. I don't even have words. Let's see what the comments have to say. This guy shouldn't be allowed to sleep with women until he reads a biology textbook. Yes. Yes, exactly. And then he still shouldn't be allowed to sleep with anyone because he's a dick. Yeah, I knew the comments would be here for me. I knew they would have the words. The number of young men who would avert their eyes or flat out walk out of my anatomy lab when I was teaching the female reproductive system was eye-opening. These were mostly pre-meds. You're studying to become a doctor and you can't handle the female reproductive system? Oh my. Okay, moving on to the next one. Me, 26 male, with my wife, 25 female, all together 5 years. I saw what looks to be a picture of my wife on my friend's phone. The picture was nude. I just can't, these kinds of things, the double betrayal of not only has your wife betrayed you, but also your best friends. They're who you should go to cry about in these types of scenarios, not the person who's hurting you. We were sitting on the couch, drinking a few beers, watching DVR reruns of The Twilight Zone. It's my day off, and my friend got kicked out of his house about a month ago by his girlfriend. I wonder why. As far as I know, he did nothing wrong. Okay, did you hear that from him or from the girlfriend? Just curious. He's been sleeping in a hotel, and my wife and I offered to let him stay at our apartment for a few weeks until he can find a place of his own. Did you offer, or did the wife? Whose idea was this? I'm curious. Anyway, we were sitting on the couch, and he runs out of beer and gets up to go to the kitchen to get another. He puts his phone face down on the couch. I shouldn't have, but I picked it up and looked at it. He was looking at a picture of my wife, naked. Crazy that you were just I feel like I need to look at this. He just had a sixth sense in the back of his head, there's something going on. I need to look at this. Because yeah, maybe sneaking a look at someone's phone is a bit of a betrayal of trust, but not nearly as much of the betrayal of trust that the friend has pulled. I'm almost certain it's her. Almost certain. I got really uncomfortable at the thought that he's browsing his phone looking for a pic of my naked wife right next to me. Seriously. I quickly put the phone down where he had it and locked the screen to be safe. When he came back, I went to my bedroom to type this. Guys, what do I do? Tons of thoughts are swimming through my head. Please help. I don't want to do anything I regret. Confront him? I mean, he said he's almost certain and not 100%, and then he put the phone down quickly, so I'm guessing he was just like, you know, kind of thing. If you're almost certain, I feel like that is absolutely enough to be like, hey, why is there a naked picture of my wife on your phone? Like, that is absolutely something worth confronting him over. Edit. I have been advised to keep quiet until I know without a doubt he has a picture of my wife on his phone. Okay. Apparently Reddit disagreed with me. I need to see it again to be certain. I don't know how to do it, though. Okay. If you're not 100% sure, I guess that would be really weird and really awkward if it's not a picture of your wife and you confront him about that. He would be like, whoa, why would your mind jump to that? I guess I can see the hesitation there. Stuff to know. I told my wife that my friend, our mutual friend, okay, so she is also friends with him too. That is important information. Has been staying in a hotel for a few weeks after he got kicked out. We both decided to let him stay here for a few weeks until he gets a new place. I didn't get a long enough look at the picture to say whether or not it's my wife with 100% certainty. Okay. There is no face in the picture. I do not want to go around throwing out accusations. Okay, I guess that's fair. But we have some more updates. Oh, we have a bunch of updates. Woo, okay, awesome. My wife will be home from work in an hour 45. My friend is currently working on something in his room. I'm in my room reading the comments. I'm going to text my wife something mundane and see if she responds. I am not going to bring anything up. I just want to see if she'll say something back. I'm thinking of a few excuses to see my friend's phone. Next update. I was given the idea to tell him I can't find my phone and ask him to call it. He was reluctant about letting me use his phone. That definitely lends some credence to what you saw. That definitely does make it seem like there maybe is something on his phone that he doesn't want you to see. This is where I'm worried. If he has nothing to hide, why won't he let me see his phone? Exactly. I don't know, maybe he's really protective. He said, just walk around the apartment and I'll keep calling it until you find it. I didn't want him to think I was suspicious, so I agreed. I told him I found it and it ended there. He's going to work soon, so I need to get to his phone soon. Friend has gone to work, wife will be home in 15 to 20 minutes. Still haven't been able to see the picture. Should I ask my wife anything when she gets home? She didn't respond to my mundane text, I forgot to mention that. Okay, not responding to the text, she could just be busy with work. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Trying to give the benefit of the doubt here because I'm sometimes bad about, like, I'll see the notification and be like, oh, I need to respond to that after I finish what I'm doing. But then I get back to what I'm doing and completely forget about the text. I don't think that automatically means she's guilty. Update 4. For those that were wondering, from what I remember, the picture was a woman presumably laying down with her shirt open. She had large assets, which my wife also does. That's all I remember because after I picked it up, I got a sick feeling in my stomach and locked it and put it down. If I could see it again, I could pinpoint for sure if it's her or not. Now onto the update. She left her phone at work. I'm worried. This has got my head spinning in all sorts of ways. I prodded just a bit and asked why she left it. She said she just forgot. My friend is at work. I can't check his phone. My wife's phone is at work. I don't know what to do. I'm going to stay as calm as possible and not give anything away. I cannot even imagine being in this person's shoes right now. The thought, the spiraling in the head. I just had like flames on the side of my face. Please tell me you actually understood that reference and I didn't just sound insane. But that would be so crazy, like not having enough information to go to them and not being able to do anything about it and just it stewing. Oh, I feel so bad for this guy. Is this a sign she's hiding something? I don't know, because leaving her phone, I mean, unless she's lying about leaving her phone at work, she could be lying about it. I feel like if that's the case, then she knows you're onto it. And it sounds like he's been acting like everything's normal. I mean, maybe the best friend had a thought after he left the room was like, oh, I left my phone there and that picture's pulled up. I feel like she would have to have a reason to think that you're on to her. My wife is going to the gym. She'll be back in an hour. I feel so bad. I feel like I'm going behind her back. She might be the one going behind your back, so don't feel bad. I love this woman to death, and I don't know what I'd do without her. I keep being told to confront my wife or confront my friend. Which should I do? I'm not going to accuse them at all. That would be wrong, so I might just let this play out little by little. So last night I had a pretty mean headache. I'll get them when I'm really stressed, and I decided to call it a night. My wife got home soon after and walked into our room. When she turned the light on and saw me laying down, she apologized, turned the light back off. She asked me why I was lying down. I told her I was stressed, and she sat down on the bed next to me and asked what was up. I just said, work, and left it there. She said okay, then kissed me on the forehead and asked me if I needed anything. Well, it seems like she's still acting somewhat normal. I'm assuming that's normal. I don't know. This is just such a messy situation. I woke up in the middle of the night. I was having trouble sleeping, and I walked to the living room. On the balcony was my friend having a smoke, and I started feeling really angry and wanted to go out there and confront him. But I knew I needed to stay calm. I walked out on the balcony, and we made small talk for a bit while he finished his cigarettes. It was silent for a bit, and I asked him why he was kicked out of his girlfriend's house. Ooh, that's good. Like I told you before, dude, I'm really not sure. She just did. I didn't do anything. The fact that I didn't do anything. That's like seeing a police officer. I have not done anything illegal. It felt like such a lie. I just really wasn't thinking about it the first time. I'm sure he's hiding something. He said it with such disregard for the question. Kind of like when your parents would catch you doing something and they would ask you what was going on and you would say, nothing? I didn't question him any further for fear he might think I was trying to get something out of him. We talked for a bit longer about nothing important. I told him I was still pretty tired, so I wanted to go back to sleep. He said goodnights, and I went back to bed. I couldn't sleep though. I was tossing and turning, troubled by the thought of something being up. I got up a while later to go to the gym. From there, I go to work, and I had an idea. I was going to sneak into his room and get his phone and look at it. The only problem being his door was locked. That's pretty bold, locking the door in your house. I mean, to be fair, it's the room he's staying in, and I get that, but it feels a little telling to me. I went to the gym, but I didn't do much because I felt so discouraged. I got to work where I currently am now and decided I would use the advice I was given and check the message history through our service provider. That was tough to do because I had trouble remembering our account info, but I got it all sorted. When I looked at the message logs, I felt again, I'm betraying my wife. You're not. You're doing your due diligence, really. So I texted her. No answer. She must have not gotten her phone yet. I waited a while until I felt my phone vibrates. Sorry babe, got my phone back, what's up? Just want to see what you were doing. Sorry we didn't talk last night, I was really stressed. It's okay, kissing emoji. I got a question though. Do you know why Intername Here was kicked out of Intername Here house? No response. That was a few hours ago too. Okay, now that I would say is definitely suspicious. So I'm waiting, hoping that she'll answer because I'm having a bit of an anxiety attack. Yeah, I would be too. I gave in and checked the phone logs. There were a bunch of messages back and forth between her and myself, her and her mother, her and a few of her friends, and lastly, her and the guy who was staying with us. So, nothing incriminating, only her asking him if he wanted her to pick up something for dinner, which was a text that she also sent to him at the same time. So yeah, like she's coming home and she asked the two other people living with her if they want her to pick up something for dinner. That does make sense. I still do not think my wife is cheating. I just want to know what's going on. I get off work in about an hour. The thing is, like, sometimes instincts are good. I mean, he had the instinct to check the phone in the first place, so maybe he has a good, like, instinct of his wife is really not that kind of person. But I've heard other stories of people being like, my spouse is not this kind of person, I thought, and then this happened. Could just be in denial. So the next update is 4 days later. Final updates. Let me start off by apologizing for taking so long to finally write this post. When it hits the fan, it gets everywhere and takes a while to clean up, so thank you all for your patience. Let's get our answers. Place your bets now. Alright, after my last update, I headed home. I was finally going to man up and ask my friend about what I saw on his phone. When I walked in the front door, put my stuff down and headed towards his room. I walked past the bathroom and heard the shower, so I figured he was in it, so I'd wait for him. I went to his room, and right there on the bed, next to his bag and jacket, is his phone. Perfect. My stomach dropped again because I knew there was no going back. I was going to pick up his phone and figure out what was going on once and for all. His phone had a passcode on it, but it was really easy to guess. I tried the 1, 2, 3, 4, then the reverse, and after about 4 or so guesses, it turned out to be the year he was born. Anyway, I went to his photo reel and opened it. I scrolled through a few pics of different things, and then I finally landed on it. I recognized the shirt and the room it was taken in. She took it. That is a picture that she took here in our apartment of her upper body. That was my my wife, and my friend had the picture of her on his phone. I was really hoping that it was not what it looked like. I got really, really angry. I couldn't hold it back, and I walked over to the door of the bathroom and started banging on it like a madman. I'm yelling his name, telling him to get out of here. The water goes off, and he's yelling out to me, asking what I want, and I kept saying over and over to open the damn door. He finally does, and he's putting on his pants. What do you want, man? I'm getting ready for work. That's when I dropped the question, why the hell do you have a naked picture of my wife on your phone? His eyes were huge and he just started stammering, so I asked him again, but with more force. He was trying to speak but kept stuttering and put his hands to try to calm me down. I wasn't going to hit him, but man, I really wanted to. I bet. He just kept saying, wait, over and over again. He gained his composure and I swear to God, he goes, I know you're mad. I know you're mad. The nerve. I cut him off yelling no shit at the top of my lungs. Did my wife send you this? I asked over and over. I was just so incredibly angry. He finally tells me no and explains what happened. Okay. This scumbag stole the picture from my phone. Oh, that is disgusting. That is even worse in some ways. I feel so bad for the wife. I don't even know how, but apparently iCloud does bullshit like this, where it stores your photos even after being deleted. Which reminds, how do I disable that and get rid of the pictures? Anyway, he went to my phone and sent it to himself, then deleted the message. I can't believe I missed it when I read the phone thing. Well, to be fair, that wasn't really what you were looking for. Because why would you be looking for that? I asked him if he had any more, and he swore to God he didn't. He only had the one. I'm not sure I trust that. And wasn't going to do anything with it. I don't care what he was going to do with it. Him having it, him going through all that effort to get it, that is totally bad enough. He started apologizing over and over, and well, I don't give a f***. I told him to leave, to get all of his stuff and leave, and that I didn't want to see him again. If he came back, he would regret it. Different stuff like that. I texted my wife I need to talk to her ASAP, but she didn't respond. I'm getting the feeling that she's just bad about responding, which is because her phone was dead, not because she was hiding something. My wife got home like 45 minutes or so after the son of a left, and when she got in, I calmly asked her if I could talk to her. She said yes, and then asked if she could plug in her phone real quick since it died at work. She didn't take long, and it gave me time to think of what I wanted to say clearly. She came in, sat down, and I started talking. Actually, you know what? His name is Hayden. I don't care enough to keep his name safe. Hayden had nude pictures of you on his phone. I wasn't going to accuse, I just wanted to tell her and see how she would react. That's good. That is good that you still have that. Like, yeah, he said she didn't send it to him, but it's good to gauge on her end as well. 'Cause I would not put lying past this guy. She had a very confused look on her face, but the one where you say, what, really sternly. I explained to her all that went down with Hayden and I. She was so angry, almost as much as I was. I bet, yeah. She looked like she wanted to cry, and that made me want to cry. Especially since he's her friend too. This is her friend. She kept asking where he was and what happened. I told her I deleted the pic off his phone when I had it and kicked him out. She was asking if he had any others. I told her what he told me. She doesn't believe that to be the truth though. Same. Honestly, same. Also, if there were legal repercussions for what he did, and I told her that we would check it out. Yeah, you should, because surely there's something for that. There should be. Secondly, I wanted to be open and honest with her. I didn't want to hide anything. I explained what happened over the past day and a half about the first time seeing it and being worried because I recognized it, but wasn't 100% it was her, and how I started getting really anxious, worried that something went wrong in our marriage, and that I drove her away, and all these fears. She sat close to me and we held each other. I was in tears over this emotional roller coaster. I was so stressed, worried, sad, and angry at the same time that it all started coming out. I can imagine. I went over to Hayden's ex's house and asked her why she kicked him out. Ooh, I'm very interested to hear, if it's the same as his story. I'm gonna guess it's not. And explain the situation with him having a pic of my wife on his phone. Turns out, he cheated on her. Surprise, surprise. I was disgusted. I never expected him to do that. But after what went on, it didn't hit me as hard as I thought it would. Yeah, I mean, he's already shown his true colors. She was pretty disgusted with Hayden's behavior and told me a lot of stuff I never knew about him. It was really uncomfortable to hear, but she needed to vent. I went to a law office close to us and asked about the legal repercussions of stealing someone's photos. They gave me a number of different options that I'm going to bring up to my wife. The biggest one that I see working is a lawsuit. good. When my wife got home, she showed me a bunch of texts she received from Hayden. He sent me a few that I ignored. He was more than likely drunk because the texts were so hard to understand. He kept apologizing and would send one every 10 minutes, and it was getting annoying. So she turned off her phone. That's good that she turned it off and didn't block him, because if he's sending stuff that incriminates himself, that will be good for the lawsuit. The rest of the day was quiet until he came to our door and started begging us to forgive him. No. I felt really bad. This dude was sorry, drunk, probably didn't go to work, and tired. I wouldn't feel bad. I told him he needed to leave us alone and we would get in touch with him later. He was okay with that. We'll get in touch with the lawsuit. I'm not sure where he went, but I'm assuming it was a hotel or possibly another friend's house. Before you ask, he didn't drive to our apartment. He took an Uber thing. He started pestering us more, and this time was getting a bit violent with threats and different things. This guy was acting like such a scumbag. I tried to be nice, but now he's trying to play innocent while threatening us with some of his "I didn't do anything wrong, don't tell anyone or I'll f*** you up." I'm sorry, you didn't do anything wrong? Yeah, you did. You really did. You got this in text, right? You have evidence of this? Oh, that's great. Seriously, he was really pissing me off, wouldn't stop calling us. My wife was worried that he would come over and try to make good on his threats, so I stayed with her the entire day, mildly worried myself. We both decided we were going to press charges now because of how immature he is being and even threatening us. Yeah, you have to. Get a restraining order while you're at it. I thought we could handle this like adults, but now he's bringing it on himself. I want this all over, I'm tired and want things done, but it'll come in time. And someone did ask in the comments, how's the progress going on pressing charges? Is he still around and making threats? He stopped and we have a lawyer working on our case. Yay! Happy ending, kind of? Got a terrible, terrible friend out of your life and are taking him to court. That sounds like a happy ending to me. Well, those were both kind of long ones, so I think we will call it there. Remember to leave your opinions in the comments and subscribe while you're down there. See ya!